445 pages. I was sent a 445-page science fiction western game called The Calling by a guy named Ohad Ritert. Apologies for butchering your name. Bulky games always have a strange intimidation value to them, not only for something reading, but for someone really getting into it. Oh lord, you think this is a massive, big, scary, huge thing, oh god. But you know what? I like The Calling. I like it a lot, actually. Let's set the stage here. It's the future. Life is hard. We nuked ourselves into oblivion, and we all felt sad about it. But then, out of nowhere, they came. Star gods. Part star, part god, and 100% what the fuck. They helped us rebuild. A lot, actually. But there was a little problem. Well, a pretty big problem. We had no goddamn idea what we were doing. But we had one thing to help. Movies. So humanity and the new gods sat down and watched a shit ton of movies to figure everything out. How are towns built? There's Main Street. How do we govern ourselves? Well, we watched Goodfellas and Yojimbo a few times, so we're like 95% sure that's how people should act in power. This led to the world of literally running on movie logic, and not just one or two movies, every movie. Then war happened. People got mad. Star gods started getting mad, and then everything went to hell again. After it was all said and done, the star gods took a more passive role in their holdings in the Far East, and the mafia lords reside in their pagodas surrounded by made men and katana cowboy lawmen. Both of those are actually real terms in case you're wondering, and yes, this setting is absolute kino! But if a setting made the game, I may have enjoyed Blades in the Dark. But what about the game itself? At its absolute core, it's a 2d6 plus modifiers game. Yeah, not exactly bursting with innovation mechanically, but here's a secret. It works in its favor. Character attributes are a pretty standard assortment of muscle, grace, insight, resolve, and charm, with it being pretty damn simple to understand. Even skills are pretty easy to get. Combat boils down to player-facing roles of attacking versus dodging. But then we have dojos and callings. A character's dojo is how they fight, granting them a basic ability and one every other level from a list of 3. In total, there are 8, including Armored or Cyborg, while most of the masteries are raw bonuses or handful of unique abilities to be found in. Your calling, on the other hand, is more of your spiritual class, which there are 10 of, including the Prophet, the Exorcist, or the Viking. They also give you masteries and some starting prayers. Now, here's the lovely little part. You combine them together. Technically, there are 80-some combinations, so Robot Cowboy or Laser Viking are both valid classes. I say technically as there are some very clear combinations with your stats, but the idea stands. While basic, there are enough time and effort to really dive in there and give yourself some cool options to fuck around with as you advance in level. Now, if that was it, I'd say fun game, cool idea, but I haven't explained another very important concept. The Star God. The GM will also be playing their own character, similar to the Ryujin from Ryutama. This character is a Star God, a celestial creature with their own form, domain, and aspects to grant them their own abilities. Each of these different domains and forms give a very different feeling to being in service to this particular Star God. They not only set the tone of the campaign, but also the beat and how it's going to be played out. And that's a really big key problem with this game in general, though. There's a beat to everything. Each calling has a certain quest that needs to be completed to advance a rank. Some of these are pretty simple to understand, others are not so simple. But this rank is somewhat tied to the Star God, as the PCs can technically hit a roadblock until the GM throws a doppelganger at them. Doppelgangers hunt Star Gods, and each time one is defeated, the Star God grows in power. And then the PCs kill another doppelganger in a sequential order, leading to the climactic final battle. If they lose any of these doppelganger fights, game over, you lose, everyone is dead. If they succeed, you end the game as well. The narrative beats of The Calling are pretty strange to me. They force you into a very particular campaign with very particular goals for each character type. This isn't even factoring in the entire Ascension system, which allows PCs to gain superpowers, or just be mortal with really little gain in it. Combined with prayers, which are quite literally mechanified Mother May-I's to the GM, and you have a very weird game in some respects, which may or may not appeal to you. But here's a secret. At the start of this, I said it was a 445-page book, but in truth, it's actually a lot thinner than that, as most of the game is either explaining to you the lore, or providing you GM tools, giving you very detailed information, and a nearly 100-page bestiary filled with quite literally everything you can throw at a player and encounter building tools with them to boot. Is it perfect? No, but no game is perfect in any sense of the word. What it does have, though, something more important than anything, is heart and details. And that heart elevates it from being something neat to something actually pretty special. My name is Notepad, and this was The Calling. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd like to extend my thanks to the good fellows who pay me to entertain them. Godspeed and good luck.